The courts have been very busy the last couple of days, giving us stuff to talk about. And we have seen that today Faith Musonda was charged, and we also saw yesterday that Mr. Kambwili was sent back to prison to continue serving his sentence. And so, to find a nexus between the two cases for something for us to talk about, I thought let us talk about bail, because it was one thing that was applicable in both cases. So we're going to talk about police bond, bail pending trial, bail pending sentence, bail pending appeal, and bail unconstitutional bail. It's a mouthful. And also we'll throw in here and there the situation with the charges, right? Okay, so the first thing that we see is police bond. So police bond is given when you are accused or you are charged with an offense that is bailable. Okay, so for capital offenses like treason, espionage, in this case that we had heard initially that Faith had been charged with aggravated robbery and the like. So if you're charged with a non-bailable offense, then the officer in charge can grant you bond. This does not excuse you, it just makes sure that you appear in court, what. It can be in your own recognizance, or it can be with sureties, and there can be an amount attached to that. So let's say that you are charged with a lesser offense that is bailable, like theft, and then later they find that maybe it was aggravated robbery, and the investigations reveal that there was weapons involved. The police bond can be cancelled, and you can be taken back into police custody. Then we move on to bail pending trial. So using the example of Faith Musonda today, we see that Faith was charged initially with, I think, disorderly conduct or something, popularly known as shishita or something, I think. And then today in court, she was charged, yes, with that shishita offense, but also with espionage. Now you find that espionage is a non-bailable offense, so I am assuming that's why we saw that she was not given a police bond. I'm assuming, because I don't have full details, and every comment that I make is usually based on the shallow facts that are reported in the media, especially social media, not like news on radio, detailed what these radio stations, right, that give us the news. So yeah, that's most likely why she was not on police bond, and she was in custody these almost 14 days. I think she's been inside 13 days. But we also see that today the charge was reduced. The espionage was dropped, and she was charged with a disorderly offense. Yeah. And today she was granted bail pending trial because her plea was a not guilty plea. So I saw one social media outlet make fun of the fact that the charge was dropped. This is not surprising. These things happen in the legal system. There's what we call the plea bargaining. The defense can plea bargain, and in instances, I'm not saying this is what has happened in the Faith situation. I'm saying this happens in the system where prosecution and defense can negotiate for a lesser offense so that the defendant can plead guilty to the lesser offense, and then you skip the whole trial process. So at least the trial process is cut short. Quickly on to bail pending confirmation of sentence. Sometimes matters are taken to the High Court for confirmation of sentence, and sometimes this may be a little delayed, and a person can apply for bail pending confirmation of sentence. Then there is bail pending appeal. Now, for you to apply for bail pending an appeal, there has to be an appeal in the appellate court. So if you started in the subordinate court, there must be an appeal that has been lodged into the High Court, and that's when you can apply for bail pending appeal. So it can be that you are not happy with the sentence. You have been convicted, let's say, of, like in the case of Mr. Kambwili, of those tribal remarks that he made, but he says, hey, that 5-month sentence, 10-year sentence is unfair. So you lodge in the appeal into the superior court or the appellate court, and while they are hearing, pending that appeal, you apply for bail, and this is called bail pending appeal. So if you're not successful, then you go back into prison to serve the sentence. Also, it doesn't mean your lawyer is a bad lawyer if they advise you to do the time if you are given a short sentence. So there are some offenses where they say the minimum sentence is 3 months, and then the court gives you that 3 months. They are sort of practicing even leniency in some cases. It many times it's not a good idea to appeal that sentence when you have already been found guilty, and especially when you know that you are guilty of the offense, because what happens is you go to the higher court, you may even get more years. So your lawyer is not a bad lawyer if they advise you, look, we've got the minimum sentence, do the time, let it go. Unless there is compelling evidence or something happened procedurally in the lower court that you should not have had that conviction in the first place. Then we also have constitutional bail. So constitutional bail, which is my favorite because it's right down my alley of the work that I do, it is steeped in human rights, in that even if you have been found with an offense, you are entitled to a free and fair trial, which includes it should be done within the stipulated times of the law. An accused should not be punished for the delays on the part of the state. So if it says 48 hours, you should appear before the court, please, can the accused be taken before the court? So where there is inordinate delay, that is where you usually see constitutional bail applied for. And usually it overrides the provisions of even the Criminal Procedure Code, which tells us about all these bails that we have talked about. So next time someone says, balipa police bond, and someone is in court, now you know that it can be a bail pending trial, or a bail pending confirmation of sentence, or bail pending appeal, or even constitutional bail. Now you know the difference. I hope this is helpful. Until the next one. Oh, and an important advice is always seek legal counsel. Always seek legal counsel. Police bond, bail, when it should be taken, why it should be taken, the grounds should be correct. Okay, bye.